This video is going to be on expanded brackets for the foundation and the higher tier. So on both the foundation and higher tier papers, you will be expected to expand single brackets and also double brackets. So when you are asked to expand brackets, that means to multiply. The word expand means to multiply. So in this question, we're going to be doing 3 multiplied by x, which is 3x, and then 3 multiplied by -8, which is -24. Sometimes you will see people do this, and some people remember it by doing eyebrows, but it just reminds you to multiply every term that's inside the brackets with every term that's outside the brackets. So in this example, ever so slightly different because we've got a number and an algebraic term outside the brackets, but we're going to do exactly the same thing. 8y multiplied by y, which is 8y squared. Y multiplied by y is y squared, and then 8y multiplied by -3. So in this case, deal with your numbers first. So -3 multiplied by 8 is -24, and then we're going to be multiplying all of that by y. So this example is moving on to questions with double brackets, and there are a variety of methods of being able to do this one, but in essence you're doing the exact same thing. You need to multiply all of the terms that are in this bracket by all of the terms that are in this bracket. I personally choose to use the grid method, but you can do something that's called the FOIL method, which means that you multiply the first two terms together, so that would be x and x, the outside terms together, so x and -6, the inside terms, which would be +3 and x, and then the last terms, which would be +3 and -6. But setting it up in the grid, it will look like this. And what you want to make sure that you do is include the sign that goes with each number, so +3 and then x -6, so that when you multiply them together, you make sure that you remember your negative number rules as well. So we're going to multiply x by x, x squared, and 3 by x, which is 3x, x multiplied by -6 is -6x, and 3 multiplied by -6 is -18. And then you're going to collect all of your like terms together. So x squared minus 6x, add 3x, minus 18. These two terms in the middle, which are your diagonal terms in your grid, are the ones that you will be able to simplify. So x squared minus 6x, add 3x is -3x, and then subtract 18, and that's how you expand brackets when they are in double ones like this. So this question is still a double bracket one, but you'll notice we've got a coefficient of x on this side. So this would be something that you would see towards the end of the paper. This isn't going to be something that you'd be seeing right at the start. So my preference again is the grid method, so that's what I'm going to do, but you can choose to use the other method if that's what you want to do, and then x plus 6. So 2x multiplied by x is 2x squared, minus 1 multiplied by x, -x, 2x multiplied by 6, so 6 multiplied by 2 is 12, and then multiply all of that by x, and then -1 multiplied by 6, which is -6. And again, your diagonal terms will be the ones that you can collect your like terms on. So we've got 2x squared, add 12x, minus x, minus 6, and then these are the ones that we can simplify with. So 2x squared, 12x minus x is 11x, and then minus 6. Even if you don't fully simplify your answer at the end, which you should be doing, you will still get marks if they can see you're working out, whether it be in a grid or whether you just write it out like this if you do the FOIL method. So it is really important to make sure that you write down each term that you multiply together. This is typically worth 2 or 3 marks depending on the difficulty of the question, and most of the time you get 2 marks for seeing these terms here, and then 1 mark for making sure that it's simplified at the end. So for this example question, a lot of people end up with an answer of x squared minus or plus 49. And although that has come from doing x squared and then 7 squared, some people put plus 49 because -7 multiplied by -7 is 49. Some people put the minus sign because there's a minus sign there. But what you've got to remember is this means x minus 7 all squared. So x minus 7 multiplied by x minus 7 again. So with these ones, it's a good idea to write out x minus 7 squared as a pair of double brackets like this, so that when you do them in the grid, you can clearly see that you're multiplying all of your terms by each other. So x subtract 7, and then x subtract 7. So x multiplied by x is x squared, then x multiplied by -7 is -7x, x multiplied by -7 is again -7x, and then -7 multiplied by -7 is +49. And then again, your negative terms here will simplify. So your final answer should be x squared, -7 multiplied multiplied by negative 7 is negative 14, and then plus 49.